Hey, the Dragon Folk. How are y'all doing today? Hopefully, everybody's doing as fantastic as always. Love to see all your faces. This is our first official video after passing 200 subscribers, so give yourselves a round of applause. We did it. Obviously, 800 more until monetization, but we're going to slowly creep ourselves up there as we do, and I appreciate all your support regardless. So, for the 200 of you subscribed, I continue to thank you, and I will be thanking you until the end of my days. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Next goal is 500, and hopefully we'll do another giveaway right around then. But what I want to talk about today is Unfinity, right? Something that came up in conversation, something I had thought about, right, is would Unfinity be a good set to invest in, right? I mean, like, if you're truly thinking, if you have that income to invest in Unfinity, would you? Would you invest in a product that is supposed to be selling stickers in its product for you to put on your legacy and vintage and commander cards? I'm not sure. And you got to think about that, right? That it's when you look at a set, it has to be more than just it's got one really good rare card in it, right? When looking at a set as a whole, it needs to have like genuine exclusivity, right? Something that is so exclusive to the set that you're only going to be able to find it in the set, and it's going to be very special to that specific thing. For instance, right? Kamigawa Neon Dynasty has its Hitsugus. The Gilded Foils are in New Capenna. You have the inventions in Kaladesh and Aether Revolt, and you have the invocations in Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation. Now, granted, those are all lottery stuff. Well, the Gilded Foils aren't really lottery, but, like, you get the point. It's stuff specific to a set, and whether or not that stuff is actually going to go well enough to the point where you want to actually do this. So I want to go over a couple topics here first, right? The first topic I want to go off of, right, is I want you, that's right, you, watching this video right now, I want you to tell me how excited you are for stickers to be in Eternal formats. And if you don't know what an Eternal format is, that is Commander, Legacy, and Vintage. Those are our Eternal formats. So the reason I ask this is because I'm looking to get genuine information. I don't play a ton of Eternal outside of Commander, and even the Commander that I play is very rare, and hoping that when I eventually get the time and ability to move closer to a friend of mine, we can make it happen and I can be playing Commander more frequently. But right now I don't play. So because I don't play, I don't have as much of an interest, but from when I did play, because I do know how to play Commander, and I've played Commander for a little while now, at least a one-on-one with my girlfriend, I don't know how I'd feel about stickers being in there. I don't think they do anything beneficial, right? I like the fact that there's a little twist as to them entering the formats. Do I think the sticker cards are good? I think they have their perks, and they can really, it's almost like the equivalent of sideboarding stuff. Like, you know, if your opponent can't get over really strong creatures, you can just make your weak elves a 7/4 or whatever. But I think overall, I think the set is, I mean, we don't know enough about it, right? Obviously, there's still some cards that need to be leaked. We only got a few more extra cards. So as far as the actual mechanics of it, right? I like that the guy we talked about here, Magar, right? The Minotaur performer. I like his concept as a commander, and hopefully we get more commanders that are really cool and neat. I think that's like the only Eternal thing that I'm really excited about is like the actual cards to come from this, right? If there are Eternal cards that have anything to do with stickers, I might not be so inclined to enjoy that. I do know that if they come out with some pretty cool cards for Eternal formats and new commanders, so on and so forth, I think that would be pretty neat, right? Just a crazy, kooky, jank commander out of Unfinity, I think that'd be pretty cool. But will it be enough for people to want to hold the set, buy it in bulk, and hold the set, right? At the end of the day, you have an unset, which is normally not allowed in any format other than like some internal unformat that they have, right? So there's no exclusivity to that, and it's no longer just like this is a board game, right? Like Unsanctioned was. Unsanctioned, you could just buy like a box. Like it was like almost looked like a game board that you could buy in Walmart's, and they were there all the time. You could always find them. It's like $50 or something, and you got all these other cards. And then of course you have Unstable and Unglued, and those two they're older sets, but they are unset, silver bordered, bunch of crazy cards in them, right? A lot of the stuff from Unglued is actually it's cheap because obviously it has no use in the actual game, but I mean there's still some $20 cards in that set, and that's kind of crazy. The land cycle from Unglued, crazy expensive, because the land cycle was so good. And of course, this brings me into our next kind of topic, right? Also, before we go into the next topic, tell me in the comments, do you really think that you personally would use stickers in your Eternal formats? Like, how many of you are genuinely excited for stickers in your Eternal format? I mean, like, not like I guess they're okay, right? And being a little bit optimistic, like myself, I mean, like, genuinely excited that they're adding stickers. I don't know how many people, right? I'd love to hear from you all. Let me know. But on to our next topic, right? The idea behind keeping this sealed, right? Obviously, you have a product that is unlike any other as far as unsets go, right? Unsets are very crazy stuff. But more importantly, you have not only cards that are available in Eternal formats and will probably only be available in Unfinity, unless for some reason they make some kind of unsecret layer that blows up and they get every playable card from Unfinity in like one super drop. I don't think that would ever happen, but of course it's Wizards, and if they can make money off of it, they probably will. So this is what I'm thinking, right? Unglued, they are well known for their land cycles, right? That's a land from Unglued. Now let's take a look at the unstable basic lands, right? I mean, you look at these things and they're full art masterpieces. I mean, they have this for every single one of the basic lands, and you were able to pull them out of their packs, and it was a crazy time. But then you move on to that unsanctioned stuff, right? And they also have pretty good looking lands. It's kind of a weird mix between unstable and unglued, right? With that little special border in the middle there, but it is still there. I think the only reason these are not as popular is because you had to buy that whole game in order for you to get it. But of course, you can just buy singles now, so it's not really the end of the world. So those are definitely popular in regards to that. But hopefully, it's just basic lands. It is what it is. But of course, we now need to move on to the important thing of following the tradition. Unfinity has these basic lands, and these are very, very cool. Not only does it come with a borderless version, which is this one right here, but it also comes with a full art version, which is this one right here. So 2 different kinds of practically full art borderless lands, basic lands in this set, right? But here's the kicker. Not only are the lands amazing, right? Now, granted, basic land should not be a reason that you hold a set, right? But to only have these lands available in this set is exclusive, right? It's the reason why a lot of Unglued, Sealed is still going for a little bit, and Unstable is still going for a little bit. If you look at Infinity, and really you can't really kind of figure it out. There's not a whole lot of information, but from what I can tell, this is going to be a lot like Double Masters 2022, in which there is only a draft box and a collector box, right? Now, if the full art versions of the cards are only available in the collector box and the borderless ones are only available in the draft box, right? Then at least you get a good land either way, right? But more importantly, what people are going to be looking for is not these lands. These not the basic lands that we had just saw on the screen. What instead people are going to be more excited for is the borderless versions of the shock lands. So we went over this in our previous video, which you can check out up here, right? The shock lands are used everywhere, right? They are a staple land in just about any format that has access to shock lands, right? Whether it be modern, pioneer, commander, I mean legacy, they're used, right? Because they're good lands and they can be searched with fetches. You have use for them, right? So I think that's really the case. You see these lands and you're just like, oh man, like borderless versions of these, like everybody's paying pennies for borderless versions of the bounce lands that just came out in Double Masters 2022. And of course, that's because bounce lands are only really ever found in precon decks, and they get replaced almost immediately by some other kind of land if people can afford it, right? I think just about everybody would replace a bounce land with a shock land if they got the opportunity to, right? So the bounce lands are, they're beautiful, right? The art's beautiful, but they're bounce lands. They're budget dual color lands that people can utilize. I think a lot of landfall decks probably use them more than anything, but that's beyond me. So are these shock lands going to be the reason to keep this product sealed, right? Is it going to be the reason why you buy a case of Unfinity and sit on it? Because there's specific art to shocklands, right? Now, whether or not this art is going to make the value go up, I'm not sure. This all depends on pull rate, right? If we find out that the collector box has, I don't know, guaranteed shockland in every pack, I think the price will go down significantly, considering how many people will probably crack it for that. But I don't think it'll be cracked a lot, if I'm being entirely honest. I think it'll be cracked. I think stores will crack it, and maybe run fun little events and so on and so forth. Like, that's what I do. If I owned an LGS, I would have like an Unfinity night for like at least 4 weeks into release, where we just crack open a draft box of Unfinity and have like an absolutely chaotic time making stuff like that. And just like adding crazy rules and like so on and so forth. Like, you can only play with all of your cards sideways, and that they tap vertical in order to attack. Like there's crazy things to think about when you're doing this. And I love the fun aspect of Unfinity, but do I truly think that it's going to be something that is going to be a hot item? No. I think it'll be enough to the point where people are going to want those shock lands, and probably the basic lands too. Although the basic lands from Dominaria United, which are right here, are also just as beautiful. So it's whether or not you like the stained glass art or you like the space art. I'm personally torn. I almost at this point want to make like a mosaic of basic lands that are just like beautiful lands. Maybe I'll make like a playmat or something. I don't know. That'd be cool. But I think what's more important here is that if it's going to go up, I mean, keeping a product sealed, no matter what, it'll go up. It may not go up crazy fast, but it'll go up. And that's just because obviously it will eventually go out of print and you won't be able to find that anywhere. And I don't foresee them doing another space-themed unset where they're going to reprint this exact same art for Shocklands. I just don't see it. I don't see it. If it happens, right, then obviously, you can come back to this video and however long that is, and you can go, Alex, you were wrong, right? You were wrong. You said that they'd never reprint these in this exact same art, and here they are, right? Borderless space art again. Like, I don't think they're going to do it. But I think the important part is that Shocklands are a reason to keep something sealed. I think that's where a lot of stuff from things like Guilds of Ravnica, Ravnica Allegiance, any of the Ravnica sets usually have Shocklands in them, if I recall correctly. And while Return to Ravnica was not like super fantastic as far as like a set goes, it did have Shocklands. And the Shocklands are probably the most expensive thing in that set. So the lands themselves are enough to keep a product going, especially since they're so used in every format. So definitely it's something to look into, and I think we'll have to learn more when we actually see the pull rates of these cards and what the slots are going to look like for what comes in what. But I view that as an opportunity to keep it. I mean, hey, I would keep, I don't know, I'd keep a case of each. I don't think that would be too bad. I'd imagine because the product isn't probably going to sell as much that it's going to be brought down in price significantly. And the reason I say that is because of my theory that I don't think an LGS, let's say you're brand new to the game, right? And you go into an LGS and they go, "Hi, I'm new to Magic the Gathering. I'm kind of wondering where I should start. I heard about this Unfinity thing. Would you recommend me buying that for regular play?" I don't think any LGS, at least unless their whole point is like, I don't care what you buy, kid. You give me money, I'll give you anything you want. I would like to think that LGSs hold their players to a good standard and would give them genuinely good advice as far as cards to get or like packs to buy to start out doing something. Like, instead of buying Unfinity, buy a Challenger deck, buy a pre-made Pioneer deck, buy a pre-con Commander deck. You can buy some packs of standard rotation stuff. You can buy a pack of double masters, right? I mean, that's a little higher price, but if they've got the cash, then I guess it's worth it. But I think the biggest takeaway from this is that I don't think an LGS will genuinely recommend that a player, new or old, buy Unfinity. I mean, obviously, they're going to have product to move if they buy a lot of it. But most LGSs probably won't buy a whole ton. I mean, this isn't a standard product, and frankly, unless they're planning on running like crazy amounts of events, they don't need that many boxes. So if it's been asked for by their regulars, sure, buy a couple extra more, and then you can at least get them to sell to your regulars. But I just don't think this is going to be a product that is genuinely going to be recommended to players new and old, right? It's a fun little thing, right? And if only 1/4 of the cards are Eternal Legal, that's 75% of the set that you don't even need to worry about, right? 75% of the set, it's 75% of those, let's say on average, right? 75% of the cards that you open, you can't even use in other formats. So what would be the purpose of buying a box of Unfinity unless A, you want to draft Unfinity sometime in the future, which is the reason I'd buy one, because I just think it's a cool concept. I love fun, crazy, chaotic sets. But they also have collector boosters, which very well could contain some other kind of crazy space nonsense. Like, they could be the thing that contains foil Shocklands, right? And that would be a reason to own them. Not to mention their collector booster boxes, and those are limited print runs of themselves. So it's, it's almost like a collector's duty to get collector booster boxes at this rate. So the Shocklands are really the thing that's going to bring this thing through. The land cycle is going to be the thing that brings this thing through. And then maybe whatever other cards they spoil for us for Unfinity are going to be so tantalizing enough to the point where we're going to go, okay, yeah, I'd like to at least buy a few boxes of that, right? Then the product will start going, right? But I imagine what most people are going to do is they're going to buy the lands online. They're going to buy the Shocklands online and the basic lands online. then any of the commanders or commander cards that they think they want to play, they're going to buy and see about making a crazy deck with, right? The concepts are there, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. But again, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. I like new innovative things. Do I think it caters to a specific audience? No. I think they're just doing crazy things because this is an unset, and like you do crazy things during an unset. That's just what you do. So I don't think that it's like a ploy to get like new players in through Unfinity. I think Dominaria United is a ploy to get new players into Unfinity because you have Legends cards in them from 1994. But and you have Jumpstart, right? Dominaria United Jumpstart, that is something that is going to get new players into the game. And I'm certain of it, right? Jumpstart did exactly that, and it sold pretty well, and now you can still buy a box of it for like $90. If you stay till the end of the video, now you know. But anyway, that's it for me. That's enough of me rambling. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for letting me keep your attention for more than 5 minutes. I hope that this information has brought some light onto the situation, and I'd love to hear from you. All right, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and whether or not you're going to buy a whole bunch of it and keep it sealed, whether or not you're going to buy a couple draft boxes and just draft it. Maybe you're going to be searching for all of those Shocklands. Who knows, right? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you all, seriously. Again, thank you all. 200 subscribers, killing it. We're going to make it our way to 500, and then we'll do another giveaway. So, of course, our giveaway is still going to take place in the middle of August, and we are going to be giving away this new Capenna bundle. So if you are interested in possibly winning this new Capenna bundle, where I will open it live on a video, not live, but on a video, I'll open this, and then I will send you the contents of it free of charge. All you need to do is go to that video up there, and you will follow the instructions. Watch the whole video, subscribe to the channel, and, pray to the RNG higher beings above us to get you some good pulls. So thank you so much again, and remember to make it a great day or not, the choice is up to you. I'll see you all soon. Nerd out.